Welcome to the Remodeler Success Podcast, a show created to inspire kitchen and bath industry professionals to achieve optimal success in their remodeling business. Your host, Dennis Oz, is the author of the book, Remodel Your Digital Marketing, an integrated online marketing guide for kitchen and bath remodelers. He's also the founder of RTA Marketing, a pioneer digital marketing agency for the remodeling industry. On each episode, Dennis will sit down with industry leaders to talk about their processes, the lessons they learned, and how to find success in remodeling.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Remodeler Success Podcast, where we share real stories and real strategies from leaders in remodeling and construction industry. Today's guests, folks, a very interesting session is going to be here. He has been building and running successful businesses for 2 decades, and starting from one-man operation, one-man show, and growing into an award-winning showroom, serving clients across Eastern Massachusetts and even Rhode Island. So along the way, he's expanded into new ventures, like launching both a cabinet company and a service-based business in really recent years, proving that his approach really works across industries. So even his company earned a spot on the 2023 Inc. 5000 list of the fastest growing private companies in America. So excited to introduce him. Please welcome the founder and the president of Southcoast Kitchen Designs, Matt Arguin. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hi, Dennis. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, yeah, cool. Matt, let's start with knowing a little bit about you. Could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Matt Arguin, obviously, and I've been in this industry multiple decades, as you had mentioned. I had started as a trade school student in carpentry, left there and worked for a cabinet maker, making cabinets, countertops, things like that. Was there for about 10 years and felt like it was time to branch out on my own. So I did start my own company, and originally we were a countertop replacement company. It was just myself. And then in 2009, I hired my first employee and we opened a kitchen design showroom. So now at that point, we were able to offer the cabinetry. And we've been growing since. We've got 2 locations right now and 8 employees.
This is perfect. So there are a lot of listeners here who are really, they're dreaming in that position or they're already in that position. So folks, today's conversation is all about Matt's challenges in the past and the things that he learned along the way. Let's start. So Matt, I know that running a business for 20 years means that you have really faced I would say, your share of hiring new people. That could be hiring challenges would be there, supply chain issues, maybe in the last decade, especially when we have different things going on with all these pandemic and COVID and vaccines and everything. And also the change in demand. So it still kept growing. You're always here, you're doing your work. What's helped you stay focused and scale consistently, like really kind of that scale over that time?
Sure. So, like you said, it was challenging. I was in business for the '08 recession, and '09 is when I hired that first employee. So I know all about it. It's really about having a strategic plan that goes out 3, 5, 10 years, and sticking to that. So that's like your GPS, and just like when you're making a road trip, you're going to want to make a few stops here and there. That's what all those challenges are. They're stops along the way. But ultimately, the GPS that you're following, your business plan is going to, and your strategic plan is going to get you there as long as you're focused on that long goal.
That's amazing. That's perfect. Well, let's talk about your company a little bit. I know you started as just pretty much like a one-man show. I like really saying that because this is a great one-man show. And then now you run a full showroom and a team. You have built your team and people are working with you. You are completing successful projects. What are the biggest mindset or process changes that really help you step out that day to day and become a business leader today?
Sure. So early on, I don't think anybody starts a business and has 8, 10, 12 employees day one, right? So you're going to do everything yourself in the beginning. And then as you navigate your business plan, you want to hire the right people. put them in the right roles, make sure that they're set up to succeed. And then you have to get out of their way. I feel like, once you have the right people in place and you start delegating some tasks from what you were originally doing to somebody else, if you've got the right people in the right seat, there's no need to micromanage. You just let the smart people do their thing and get out of their way. If you find yourself micromanaging, then it's possible you either have the wrong fit or they're just in the wrong spot in the company.
I think you're talking about working on the business instead of working in the business, right?
Right. Once you get to a point where you have a good team in place and they're handling the client meetings, all the back end estimating, project management, then you're able to really focus in on keeping track of your numbers, your key performance indicators, make sure that you are following that GPS and you're going to get where you'd like to go. But you cannot get out of the day to day without a strong team and a strong process that goes with it.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I'm also glad that you also mentioned hiring because my next question is going to be about that. I know that the hiring for kitchen and bath, a pro in this industry, isn't really easy. I know NKBA just really putting some certification programs just to be able to train some people. We don't have like universities, educating young talent for this industry, but you keep finding like people with the design sense who has like client skills and also who has attention to detail who's going to really fit into your team. What's worked best for you when it comes to finding and keeping top talent in your area?
Sure. So I can tell you, when I first started with my first employee in '09, I was a traditional kitchen design showroom. And, we're definitely not that anymore. And I think what we do now is where the future is. So, my first hire, he was a traditional kitchen designer like the NKBA trains people for. But they're a traditional kitchen designer is responsible for meeting with clients, producing the plans, pricing all the cabinetry, ordering the cabinetry, and then fulfilling the orders. That's a lot to ask of one individual, and it they're going to be stronger at one aspect of that rather than the other. So what we've done is we've separated that role very intentionally. So we have interior designers that do all the client-facing meetings, help them pick out cabinet door styles, countertops, tile, flooring, uh, plumbing fixtures, all the things that go into the project. But then from there, it goes to the drafting department. And in the drafting department, their sole job is to produce plans. So we're using Chief Architect now, which is more of a CAD software than 2020 or Pro Kitchen is on the kitchen design side. So we're building construction documents. We're not building kitchen plans. So that department strictly does the drafting. From there, it goes to estimating, and their sole role is to price cabinets, order, get countertop pricing, hardware prices. So they're in the quoting and fulfillment phase of it. And then we just follow our process until we get the contract, and then it gets handed off to the production team in a handoff meeting. And from there, the project manager handles it with the lead carpenters. The advantage to this system is that each individual in each department is very focused and specialized and educated in their one role. They tend to enjoy that role. So, it's difficult to find somebody that's people oriented, like a kitchen design salesperson who wants to be meeting with homeowners to then ask them to sit down and do a technical design to make sure that you don't have any interactions with appliances and door handles, right? That's to them, I find, is boring. They want to continue meeting with a new individual. So splitting the roles this way is very efficient. Everybody has clearly defined roles. They know what they're supposed to be doing. And in the end, I believe it gives a better product.
This is amazing that you are just really sharing this because I'm sure that most of the people will really start in some level of their business growth and they will use this as a big, I would say, eye-opening information. And thank you so much for sharing this one, Matt. Well, let's talk about the sales a little bit. We hit a wall as remodelers. We hit a wall when we are trying to turn leads into real jobs. We just received something, could be a referral, could be coming from word of mouth, or could be our website, or maybe they just came across our display on the road and just walked in. But some of the projects really get stuck in the design or quote phase, right? I just want to ask you, what does your sales process really look like from the first call to the signed contract, and what's helped increase your close rate in this operations?
Sure. So the most important part is pre-qualification. So when you get a lead through the door, you have to make sure that they're a good fit for your company, and also that your company is a good fit for them. Some people are looking for cabinet refacing. Well, we don't do that. So a proper pre-qualification process will make sure that the upcoming meeting is aligned for both parties, so that they both receive benefit from the meeting. And it's also very important to know the scope, and if you can get it from them, it's ideal to know the budget. And it's always a tough one. Nobody ever wants to give a budget. They feel like they're at the car dealership, and if they show their hand, then you're going to spend every dollar they say that they have. So it's very hard to get a budget. But if you stress that the budget is important to define the scope, and also to decide which products they should be in and what level they should look at, it's important to do that, just so that we're not wasting their time and they're also not wasting ours. But just to make sure that, again, we're aligned, we've got the correct scope of work, the correct product level. So you could do a good, better, best scenario, and you just if it's a tighter budget, you're going to have to be in the good and maybe scale back the scope. But that pre-qualification is very, very important to make sure that you've got a good fit going forward. What we also do in our sales process is we'll do a complimentary consultation with the homeowner, typically at their home. And it gives us the opportunity to see the project. We're able to get some questions about what type of finish they'd like, that good, better, best level. And, give us the opportunity also to give them a verbal budget. So when that first free consultation is completed, they will receive a verbal budget. And I think this is an important part that a lot of kitchen showrooms don't do, but if you start looking at design build firms, you see that it's more common. But we do collect a retainer after that meeting. So if we have a good meeting, the homeowner feels like we're aligned with them and that our company is a good fit for their project, they will offer a retainer that would go towards their order if they move forward with us. And that is required in order for us to do any written estimates or renderings of the space. So that's the important part to kick off to the next steps. And then we have about a total of 3 to 5 meetings to get the contract. Some homeowners need more time. Some are very very good at making decisions, so they can get it done faster. But typically, when we're almost ready to go to contract and we just need to get our trade partners out there, plumbers, electricians, and we want to make sure we get a final quote for those. We do also have another payment point there where we collect 5% of the project total. So generally at that point, both sides have decided it's a good project, and they're comfortable making that commitment. And that just is a courtesy to our trade partners that we're only sending them to projects to quote that are a 99% chance that we're going to get. So we're not wasting our trade partners' times there. And then, like I said, you get the contract, and now it's the handoff meeting to the production side. So that's our sales process. We try to keep those 5 meetings in about a span of 10 to 12 weeks, which seems like a lot of time. But we will not go to contract until every detail is picked, right down to the type of Schluter edge they're going to use and the grout color on the tile, molding details. Everything's finalized. We don't want any surprises. So we probably spend the same, if not more, time on the design and selections process as we do to physically do the job. And that's important to us because we want to kick the project off on the right foot. We don't want to have undecided products that might really affect the final costs. And we also don't want those undecided items to delay the project. So everything is complete at contract.
This is great. Well, you mentioned that you have a really good design software for the design. What do you use for project planning? Do you have any like a software, or how do you handle the project planning when you just starting the project? Let's say when you just charge the customer, get the retainer, and you're just confirmed that is a good project to start with. What's the next steps on the, I would say, in the software side? Are you using any software, or how do you handle that?
Yeah, so I've tried many different software platforms over the years, and I found, and we've settled in on Buildertrend, which is very well known in the home builder field, but remodelers, they may not know about Buildertrend, but it's a very good software. It's a point to point, right from the first phone call, like you had mentioned, right through warranty work. So at the end of your warranty period, they can submit warranty claims. So it's an all-in-one customer relationship software, as well as quoting, purchasing, project management, and warranty software. So it's a good end-to-end solution.
Great. Yeah, I also heard like most of the remodelers also using Buildertrend because project management software, maybe they may not be the first thing that you are gonna purchase and start running from day one, but I believe there's a certain point that you need these softwares, especially running your team, and you need to coordinate them, right? It may not be the tool from the day one, and you just do that after a certain level. Is that right?
Well, we've outgrown some of the other software out there, so yeah, it's true. Once we've landed on Buildertrend, it is actually all inclusive, and the documents are there for our teams. There's a homeowner portal, so even the homeowner can follow along on the project. We do second homes often, so they're not living there. The homeowners like to follow along on that. So I believe it's overall the best solution. But I would advise, though, if anybody's looking into a software like that, to take it piece by piece. When we first signed up with Buildertrend, we were strictly using it for project management, and then we expanded it to tracking leads and proposals. And now we're using it for purchase orders, invoicing to homeowners. So if you look at a software like that that's very robust, you can get overwhelmed. So you just want to take a piece at a time and use that.
Got it. Well, thanks so much for explaining this because that was one of the most frequent asked questions from our listeners in the past. We got a lot of questions about that, and thank you so much for making it so clear right now. And just folks, I think you're just really learning the things from one of the best source here. So this is the value here. I'm sure that you're enjoying this conversation as much as I do. This is great. Well, Matt, let's continue. I just wanted to take conversation to the AI talk. Nowadays, everybody's talking about it. And, we always say like ChatGPT or Gemini, different tools. But just want to ask you, are you using any AI tools in your business right now?
Uh, so I tend to be an early adopter of technology, so I do use AI, specifically ChatGPT, and you'd be amazed what you can do with it. But I use it for everything. I consider it my personal assistant. I'm using it for business planning, marketing. I'm using it to review email correspondences and fine tune and learn from and develop my skills there. I've used it for transcribing my own notes. Believe it or not, I have terrible handwriting. It can read it. It's quite unlimited on what you can do with it. So I've relied heavily on that in the past, I'd say 9 to 12 months.
I think the best way to utilize AI to our business is to start using it personally, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I did start with it personally, and then I just keep saying, well, what more can it do, right? I've had a couple of bookkeeping things. I've even sent it screenshots of my QuickBooks and said, I can't figure this out. Like, what am I missing? And it can do it. So I would say it's probably true with all of the AI services, but the the better you ask the question, the more details you give, the better the response is. If you're vague, sometimes the responses are not what you need and not what you're looking for. So you have to be careful.
Well, we are also using a project management tool. Of course, we are a digital marketing agency and we are not like a construction company. We utilize ClickUp. It's just like, most of the digital marketing companies use. And Matt, I was so surprised to see that the ClickUp just implemented ChatGPT inside ClickUp. And when you ask questions like, what are the biggest bottlenecks today? It just really analyzes all these team information and brings you who are just really struggling delivering the tasks. And we have ChatGPT and then these systems. I don't know if Buildertrend has it, but I'm sure that they have. These software needs to get a certain level that they are supporting businesses with the advanced and artificial intelligence, of course. And I'm sure it's going to be so amazing if you already have or you will get these kind of things in your project management software, because it's really good to understand, to just give you a snapshot of your team. And I'm so surprised to see that. And one thing that I just want to go back what you said, using AI as your personal assistant is very important, folks. Yes, just like Matt said, if you cannot use it for yourself, you cannot use it for your business. So start using it for yourself. Just like Matt said, there's a QuickBooks screenshot there. You don't understand what that is, just put it in there. And if you already trained ChatGPT with your company information, then maybe you'll get a really decent answer from that. And thank you so much, Matt, just for sharing this golden nuggets with us, especially for AI. And the possibilities are endless here that I can see that is a really amazing opportunity there. Yeah.
And that's important too, Dennis, is that, the more you use it, it does learn about your business. So it'll remember conversations from when I first started, and it will tailor its responses, and it will just it'll actually refer back to, hey, remember when, hey, this conversation, and it'll remember it. So the more you give it, it's probably a little scary, but the more you give it, the more accurate it will be for your specific business.
Yes, this is amazing. Thanks so much for sharing that. I'm sure that many of our listeners will really find it really eye-opening when they look at AI and all these AI tools and everything. And thank you, Matt. So let's take the conversation and shift our gears to marketing. Well, from referral heavy days to ad heavy world, well, marketing really keeps shifting for us, for remodelers and construction companies. I would like to ask you this question in two fronts. First one, where are you seeing the best return right now when you look at your marketing? And what part of the marketing is still really frustrates you?
Okay, so first part. So you might be surprised by this, but I find that our most quality leads and our the most of our leads do come from radio. So we're doing traditional radio ads, 30, 60-second spots. Those I've been on the same station since 2016, so 9 years now. So really, radio is branding. It's not so much for that immediate. I mean, you're gonna get some people listening that are ready to start a project now, but it's really just getting your name out there, and so that whatever time they are ready to do a project, they know who you are. They've heard you for many years. So radio has been really good for us. And then second to that would be your pay-per-click AdWords campaigns, meta ads, things like that. Starting to see, referencing back to AI, we're starting to get people comment that they found us through ChatGPT. So that's an interesting new one. And the thing about ChatGPT or AI is you're not paying to show up there. Like you have to rank really well and have the reviews for it to promote your business. What's really frustrating, I'd say still the Google AdWords algorithms and trying to stay on top of all of their changes. I know they don't announce what they do on how they serve results to people, but you try to navigate that so that you're constantly showing up in the organic side. It just changes so often, and they don't tell you what changes. So that to me is frustrating. Is trying to stay up with that.
I think is also what's changing right now, Matt, just like you mentioned, people are using ChatGPT and search habits are changing. That's what we see. You're not interacting with a search bar anymore. You are interacting with a system, a robot that is giving you answers. And I'm
Right.
sure that you find it really cool. You might have hundreds of people that is referring your business because you have a legacy in the area for many, many years, many, many decades. But now you have ChatGPT on your side
Right.
talking good
Right.
things about your business. How cool is that?
So it's very good. I'm pleasantly surprised to see those leads coming through from ChatGPT.
This is interesting, and thanks so much for sharing this. Well, folks, that I think you just also learned that you know SEO is one thing, but right now also we have to make our businesses visible on generative engines, not also search engines. So just take this note, and that's going to be something that will be emerging in the future. That's very important for us to know. And thanks so much, Matt. Again, it's another eye-opening information here. This has been a really long talk from the marketing and also sales and even the AI and operational management. And yeah, this is great. Well, we are not going to let Matt go because I have one last question for him. Most people getting into the kitchen and bath think it's all about design talent or construction skills, and they may really miss one of the main points, some of the main points. Without these main points, it's not enough to grow a business. So, what's the one piece of advice you would give someone just starting out in this industry?
Well, Dennis, I could probably give a few more than just one piece of advice, but the first one is everybody starting out. You get in the. It's a little dangerous to get into the mindset that if I'm cheaper, I'll grow, right? So number one is know what your pricing should be, and hold to it. If you're constantly selling below your operating expense, you're not going to last very long. You're going to run your cash flow is going to die, and your business ultimately will follow. So that's number one. Two, I would say know your value, and by value I don't mean being the cheapest out there. It's knowing what sets you apart from your competition. So the smaller you are, you have advantages over a bigger company. So you got to really know how to express that to your buyers. So knowing your value, and then justifying the investment that the homeowner is going to put into that project also is very important. But even beyond all that, you need to, as you grow, so when you go from a one-man operation, one-woman operation to a larger company, you really need to know how to hire good talent and get them in the right position in your company. And then it's on you to develop as a leader to be able to lead them to where you want to go based on your vision and your strategic plan.
Great. Thanks so much, Matt. That was an amazing conversation. Well, before I let you go, sometimes I know this is a B2B talk, but sometimes some prospects, your ideal prospects, it's like a homeowner who's just starting their project, may come across with our podcast. That's pretty normal. This is a digital world, and sometimes they would like to, maybe in your area, in your activity area, they may need to learn a little more about you. And could you please just talk about what you guys really do in Southcoast Kitchen Designs and what type of projects that you really help to the community, and could you please introduce the business a little bit more?
Sure. So at Southcoast Kitchen Designs, we started as a kitchen showroom. So it's Southcoast Kitchen Designs. But now that we're a design build firm, we focus on interior renovations. So kitchens, bathrooms, but whole house renovations too. And one of the easiest ways I describe it is anything within an existing foundation, right? So we've done some additions in the past, but for the most part, in the existing foundation, from the exterior walls in, we will renovate, we will reconfigure walls. Generally, we'd want a project that does have at least one bathroom or a kitchen in it, but we're willing to, and we have done whole house renovations, first floor, second floor, right up. So that's our sweet spot.
Can we say that they are in really good hands when they just reach out to you?
I would like to think so. Yes, yes. We do have a well-defined process. One of the things with having a well-defined process is you also need homeowners that see that as a benefit, but also they're willing to follow that process, right? Because the process is only as good as the people who are following it. So it means that the homeowners need to follow that process too if they're looking for a stress-free remodel, and that's what we're trying to do, is a stress-free remodel with no surprises. So it takes everyone to be on their game.
That was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all these experience and your expertise with us. If someone has let's say, even a business owner may have a follow-up question, or a prospect may just wanted to get some information about your services, what's the best way? Is that the website?
So the website, southcoastkitchens.com, is one way. My email, if somebody wants to direct email me, it's matt@southcoastkitchens.com. So that either way, or just just type us into Chat GPT and they'll get the contact information for you.
This is amazing, Matt. Thank you so much for sharing. And we know that sharing is caring. I'm sure everyone who is watching or listening here get really good information. And maybe you just solved one of the bottlenecks that you have in your business or some of the questions that you would like to answer for a long, long time. Thank you so much for all this information that you shared with us today, Matt. And folks, that was another episode of Remodeling Success Podcast. I'm sure that you enjoyed this episode, and we're going to see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you, Dennis.
If you would like to generate more leads, please visit rtamarketing.com to get a copy of the book, Remodel Your Digital Marketing, an integrated online marketing guide for kitchen and bath remodelers. This has been another episode of the Remodeler Success Podcast. Thanks for listening.